Hi guys, this is Simeon. I'm gonna wait a little bit till people start tuning in. It's a bit windy out here. I hope there's not gonna be too much wind noise on the microphone here. So I thought I would do a little live Q&A here. It is a rainy morning on the homestead. I'm right here by my turkeys. It was raining very hard this night. We need the rain, definitely. It has been way too dry this year, so I'm very happy for the rain. And the turkeys seem to do fine. I checked on them a lot, peeked out of the window. That's the benefit of having them close to the house. But they did really well, and they have the fresh green grass here and are doing really well. One thing that I noticed is that they go for the dry leaves. I have, the trees are starting to shed their leaves already, some of them, and these dry birch leaves, the turkeys just go for them like crazy. Well, hello everybody. I appreciate you tuning in from all over the place. I realized that this was not announced beforehand, so many of you will miss the live Q&A, but this will be recorded and uploaded. And I realized that there are many people here who are not able to listen because of the time change, but that's okay. I just wanted to answer a few questions. One that comes to my mind right away is when I posted the video of us diving in the lake, that the people were wondering, why there was such little life in the lake, and we're wondering if the lake was bad. Actually, it's a super healthy lake. The water is super healthy. Some of our neighbors receive all their water, drinking water, everything from the lake, and it's because it's such a cold lake and it's fed from underground. That's why it's so clear and cold, kind of like a lake would be up in the mountains, a little bit like that. And we have beautiful fish in there. What char, I think it's called in English, we have in there, but that's awesome. Yeah, somebody was asking about the turkeys here, if they want to stay in the light, and definitely the chickens would have gone into the back of the chicken tractor, and the turkeys were right away going to the front. Now you can see here where they were yesterday. I don't know how good the quality here is, but on the manure you can see the manure load is definitely in the front, or where the front was of the chicken tractor. And if you go further back here, there's maybe a third of the manure only where the chickens were. So that's really you can really see the big difference there. So you guys feel free to ask some questions. This is going to be today's video. We won't upload a different video, so if you have some questions to ask, feel free to go ahead. Somebody wondered why I wear a hat, and it's not because I think the look is so cool or anything. It's for the same reason that people have worn hats all the time, I guess. It protects me from rain and from sun and from wind as well, so that's why I wear a hat. It's very uncommon here in Sweden, and people kind of smile at you most of the time when they see you with that. It's not very normal to just have a baseball hat, but I like this. A baseball hat doesn't protect me from the weather, so that's why I wear it. So go ahead guys, if you have some questions that you want to ask me about the poultry or anything, go ahead. Today we have hatching day. The first chicks have hatched. I've put them in the stable already, so prepared everything, and most of them are sold already. Some of you guys asked if we ever go hunting. Yes, we hunt deer sometimes, and moose hunting will start the first week of October, so hopefully you'll be a part of that as well. It's always a fun project to go moose hunting. So let's see here. Yeah, I actually remember that some of you guys wanted to know recipes and stuff from the different kinds of sausages we made and stuff like that. And the recipes will remain my dad's secret. I guess till his deathbed, where he will pass them on to one of us. But yeah, it's the butcher's secret, I guess. So he doesn't want to share the recipes. Yeah, somebody was asking if we had wild boar here. We have wild boar, but not so much here on the peninsula where we live. But technically, you know, we could go hunt them, but we have been protected. They have been at our neighbors' places, but never on our homestead, which I'm very thankful for. If we would get wild boar here, I would definitely hunt them. We do not want the wild boar here. They would destroy a lot on our homestead. And I think also partially the electric fencing has kept them away a good amount. That's the really good part about being here on the peninsula. You guys see the turkeys just enjoying their fresh air and grass. Yeah, go ahead. I can't follow the chat all the time when I'm talking, but let's see if you guys want to ask some more questions. People tuning in from all over the world here, that's great. Well, you see, it's very wet outside. We got a good amount of rain here, and I'm super thankful for that. Somebody asked, when is YouTube going to pay off? Well, YouTube has gone quite well for us. I think better than for many other people, and we are very thankful. We're still putting in more work than we're getting back in pay, but it has definitely helped out a bunch, and we are very thankful. It's not like anybody would get rich or anything like that from what we are doing, but you know, it is very nice to see that there's some return of money for all the work that we put in YouTube, and we're going to continue with it, we hope. So yeah, it's going quite well for a business that's only let's see, in October it'll be a year, end of October. So yeah, let's see here if we have, what breed of turkeys are you raising? Well, these ones are the normal standard turkeys that the industry uses. You know, I don't know if you would call them hybrid turkeys or something. The only alternative is these black turkeys that we have here in Sweden. But they're super expensive to buy, super expensive to get hatching eggs, and you know, we just want to raise 10 turkeys till Thanksgiving and not keep them over the winter. So there's a hatchery. The hatchery that supplies all of Sweden's need is just about 2 hours south of us, so we drive there and we pick them up from there. How are the rules for hunting? Somebody asked. Well, our farm comes with hunting right, which means we are allowed to go hunting on our property, but not outside of that. And then moose hunting we do together with a lot of neighbors. But I'm sure there are some Swedes listening here who would know much more about hunting than I do, so feel free to share as well. But you can't just go randomly on public ground and go hunting, I don't think. When will the animals go back to the greenhouse? Well, I try to keep them out as long as possible, just because we have such a long winter season. And you know, right now it's still blocked by tomatoes, and it depends on how long we can grow them in there. We have had the first frost before in August, we've had the first frost before in October, so it really depends on here, you know, if the weather comes from the northeast or if the weather comes from more the Gulf Stream on the Atlantic Ocean there, if it's mild or cold weather. And so you know, it really depends on how soon all the plants are going to be done in the greenhouse and when that is empty. But I would picture that it would be somewhere around October, November, somewhere that we'll move the chickens in there. Okay, somebody would like to buy a little tractor for his farm. Well, my dad bought the Coyote tractor, which would be an alternative for the Kubota. I know Kubota is an incredible good incredible good brand. It's a really good tractor. But the Coyote, they used to build the engines, I think, for Coyote, or help them build, and then they split and now they make their own tractors. We were really happy with our Coyote, but the retailer who used to sell them, he only sells Kubota now and says they're much better, but you also pay like $10,000 more for a Kubota than a Coyote, I think. But you know, if you look, this particular gentleman, I think, was in Sweden who asked this question. If you look further south on the continent, like already Germany, people drive these smaller tractors a ton there. So importing might be an option that would be worth looking into, because further south on the continent, Germany, Italy, and all these places, it's very common to have these smaller tractors. Sweden is not so common. Do you smoke some of the meat as well? I guess that question was about the pork that we now process, the pigs we processed. I think we're gonna smoke some bacon and ham and stuff from them. Sometimes we smoke fish from the lake. Simeon, what is your next idea for a cool new project experiment? Well, there are always projects here. My dad still has to finish his wood kiln, where he is going to dry his wood in. Some point we would like to have a sauna. Want to build one of those. There's still the tiny house projects that are in the air. When we'll do them, we'll see. I don't know. So there are always going to be things like that going on. But obviously we'll have to really prioritize and see when we'll do and what we'll do when, kind of thing. How much is the little light in the winter affecting your outcome? Not sure what that refers to exactly. If you mean like our how we manage life with little light, how it affects us personally, or if you mean our agriculture. Well, if we talk agriculture, you know, we just try to go with the season. We just try to go kind of naturally with what the climate brings. So we're not trying to have our animals high performing during midwinter, where it's cold and low light, or little light. Then, you know, it would just be very expensive. So we try to give the animals rest and not try to get our calves growing super fast throughout the winter. We're not trying to have our chickens lay super much during the winter. And then we try to really speed it up in spring when the first sunlight comes. But it definitely affects. I mean, we have a super intense growing season where everything just seems to get ahead of you, and then we have a long winter season of over 6 months. So yeah, that affects obviously what you do, but then you can collect a lot more manure for compost and all of that. So ups and downs to that. We haven't heard anything from the mining company thing. I think they might have made a decision or are in the process of doing that. We haven't heard anything from that yet. But as soon as we'll hear, I will give you guys an update on that, okay? So, have I thought about growing mushrooms? Well, a lot of you guys have mentioned it, but right now, to be honest, there are too many projects that are going on. So, we'd rather want to focus on a couple than expand. So, we have to take one thing at a time. Well, somebody asked if we owned the land. My dad owns the homestead. He purchased it 14 years ago. So that's what we do. Yeah, are there any more questions? You see I'm standing here right behind the chicken tractor with the turkeys in it right now. And we'll probably have them in here for another month and a half or 2 months, and then we might move them out and free range them in an electric poultry netting when they get too big, and give them enough room. So somebody asked if there are predators. There are lots of predators here, and you know, once we had a predator take a chicken. You know, sometimes when the ground is uneven, a chicken leg can stick out, and the predator can like come get it and pull it out if they're sitting too close in the wrong spot. But otherwise, we haven't really lost any birds through that, so that's been very awesome. Works really well. Let's see here. Is the wood dryer complicated? Well, my dad just hasn't had the time to finish it yet, so we'll see when he gets to do it. Do you still have breast chickens? Oh yeah, that's the main breed we're working with. The hatch today is just breast chickens. We're super happy with them. They perform more consistently than the other chickens, heritage breeds. They're super awesome birds. We like them. Yes. Let's see here. Maybe we could take a couple more questions before we'll wrap this Q&A up here. And wish you all a good day then. Let's see here. Have you tasted any breast chicken yet? Oh yeah, we've had them for a couple seasons now already. And you know, personally I can say that the other heritage breeds are not as yummy or good tasting, but they definitely grow much faster. So you can process a breast chicken with 12 weeks that would take another heritage breed 16 weeks. And they have bigger breast fillets compared to other heritage breeds as well. Yeah, somebody asked louder please. You know, this is the problem. I can try to talk louder, but I'm limited with my live equipment here since I'm just doing it on the cell phone. Maybe you guys, you know, could see if you didn't understand something to plug in headphones after and listen to it again. I'm sorry about that. What farming tool would you most like but can't afford? Well, you know, I usually don't think too much about things that I can't afford. Right now, what I would like to have, what I can't afford, would be a butcher shop for the chickens. So, yeah, that's really what has also kind of set a limit to how much our farm operation was able to grow this year. How are your veggie sales so far? Well, we are focusing on selling tomatoes from the greenhouse and garlic, and then we have sold a little bit of the other stuff, but that's mainly for us. And garlic sales and tomato sales have gone really well this year, much better than the previous years. So that has gone well. And then besides that, you know, we focused more on the poultry, on the eggs, and the chickens are laying really well again. So we are really happy about that. So they're starting to pay off now. It was a lot of cost to upfront it, to raise all the roosters on the side. They're providing meat for us now, but yeah, now we have to now we only have to feed the hens, and they're starting to pay off. We've gotten a lot of eggs now. How is my large compost pile going? Well, I don't know if you refer to the deep bedding pile or the compost pile that I had built on the outside here. I kind of stopped the project of the compost pile out here because we also got rid of the pigs which I had, and then for right now, you know, I wanted to put the chickens there, but I didn't have a stable for them, so I just kept them out on pasture in that stable for right now. But the compost pile from the deep bedding is going really well. That stuff is ready to be put on the garden here. Somebody's asking about expanding greenhouse space for tomatoes next year. Well, if you remember this summer or spring, we bought another little greenhouse tunnel. That will also be a project. We'll see when we will build that up. That's really exciting. Do I ever milk our Highland? No, we don't milk our Highland cows. I think people have done that before, but it's not very common, I don't think. So, um, yeah. I hope to give you guys an update on the cows soon. They're doing fine. Sally is alive, but I don't think she's gonna have a calf. We'll see about that. But I hope to give you guys some good update, and we're hoping to bring some forestry videos to you guys again soon. So stay tuned. I think this will be it for today. I appreciated you guys tuning in. Thanks for joining us and sticking with the Swedish Homestead channel, and I hope to see you very soon. Wishing you guys all a good Thursday or a good night, good start of Fridays depending on where you are. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye bye.